Coming up on Mountain News this morning, state and local leaders come together to form a plan to help our region recover from devastation. And members of the National Guard continue to provide much needed assistance to areas hurt by the flood that are harder to get to.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. It's almost 5 o'clock here on it's Thursday. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. And let's take it over to Brandon this morning for a quick look at our forecast. Brandon, nothing on radar, but I think the story today is heat.
Again.
I mean, yesterday was absolutely miserable.
Yes.
I was I shot about, I think, 2 stories outside, or no, 3. And I didn't really realize the heat until I was just standing there in the sun, like, well, number one, why am I standing in the sun and not the shade?
Right.
And I walked by someone at ARH. I'm like, it is so hot. She said, yeah, it's very hot outside.
Yep,
so
exactly.
But I mean, and then you just start sweating, but you don't notice it. Like, I guess I just didn't notice it when I was out working, but very dangerous for those who are cleaning up their homes.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So you gotta be careful again today. The heat advisory continues for those flood ravaged counties. Hard to believe it's been 1 week today since that devastating flooding hit our counties across the region. That heat advisory continues till 8 o'clock tonight. We did have some rain earlier this morning. It kind of went away for a little bit. It fell apart, but there's still some rain to our north. Continue to watch that, and I think we see more rain later this afternoon going into the evening hours. We'll keep you posted on that. I-75 at Corbin, no major issues right now. A little bit on the darker side down that way, but no travel problems so far. More sensors out this morning. Sorry, I'm trying to get my mind woke up here. 63 in Clintwood, 64 in Wise, 66 Jonesville and Harlan, 66 also in Williamsburg. A lot of 70s though out there this morning, but a few more 60s out there today than there were yesterday. Several degrees warmer in some locations than this time 24 hours ago, except for Williamsburg and Harlan. 2 degrees colder than this time yesterday. Breakfast forecast, we're going to see temperatures right there. We're going to try low 70s again today. We'll see if it works out for us today. Most folks got into the upper 60s yesterday. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. And just like Brendan mentioned, today marks 1 week since many Eastern Kentucky families were startled awake by rushing floodwaters. The devastating flooding destroyed neighborhoods, homes, roads, and bridges. The death toll now stands at 37, but hazard officials say 16 people are still missing in Perry County alone. On Wednesday, some East Kentucky senators and others gathered at the Wendell H. Ford Airport here in Perry County to answer questions about flood rescues and recovery. State Representative for the 54th District, Chris Fugate, says it has been unbelievable to see how people in these communities have come together.
You know, it's easy to focus on the bad. Sometimes we do that. But man, this week has opened my eyes to there are still a lot of great people out here in the world.
Well, the representative says there is still a lot that needs to be done, but the outpouring of help has been amazing. Team Kentucky is partnering with Eastern Kentucky leaders to form a recovery plan. On Wednesday, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman toured Clay, Leslie, Letcher, and Knott counties to talk with local leaders and assess flood damages. Earlier this week, she also visited Floyd and Breathitt counties. The lieutenant governor says it is important for her and the governor to see these communities in person and to hear the stories of those who were impacted.
The devastation is heartbreaking. The way that communities have come together in a second to help each other. People who've lost everything are helping people who've lost everything. It is the most heartwarming thing that I've seen.
The lieutenant governor says rebuilding these communities will take some time, but that her and Governor Andy Beshear are in this for the long haul. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell praised Kentucky heroism during remarks on the Senate floor. The senator said, quote, all across Eastern Kentucky, emergency crews are making a Herculean effort to restore access to power, roads, and running water. Now, he went on to praise the Kentucky National Guard and first responders. He ended his remarks on the flooding by saying, quote, these courageous acts from professionals and ordinary Kentuckians alike will continue to provide a hopeful glimmer of humanity in this dark disaster, end quote. The National Guard has been extremely busy running missions in Black Hawk helicopters going into areas where the only way to get there is from the sky. Members of Kentucky's legislature went up with the Guard and helped unload a Black Hawk in parts of Perry County. delivering a lifeline to people without any access to anything. The National Guard is flying mission after mission, going out over and over again to give critical items to people who desperately need them.
Really, we're just trying to help the most people out we can, to make sure everybody's got enough water and food. A lot of roads are cut off. And
Kentucky lawmakers who have been on some of these flights say a lot of the water and supplies delivered have been donated by generous people. As people continue to clean up in eastern Kentucky, Appalachian Regional Healthcare is sharing a warning. Officials there say there are potential health hazards of bacteria in mud and water. And if people have not gotten a tetanus shot yet, well, they should. Tetanus affects the nervous system and could cause lockjaw. Dr. Jeff Ackers is the CEO of Pharmaceutical Services at ARH. He says even if you can't remember your last shot, get one anyway to be on the safe side.
My recommendation would be to be vaccinated so as if they have a laceration or a puncture wound, then their body will already have the antibodies built to fight that infection.
Dr. Ackers says the Tdap vaccine is recommended for tetanus. A Central Kentucky ambulance service crammed an ambulance full of donations for Perry County flood survivors. Jessamine County EMS held a donation drive Tuesday at the Nicholasville Walmart, where community members donated essential items like bottled water, paper towels, diapers, and more. Workers dropped off those supplies at East Perry Elementary School yesterday.
If something happens to someone or a community, all communities should step up and try to help if they can. And that's just really how we felt, like we needed to do something.
A donation coordinator for the city of Hazard and Perry County says the greatest needs now are shovels, push brooms, gloves, and work boots. Several agencies in Madison County are stepping up and holding a donation drive for flood victims. The Richmond Fire Department is teaming up with multiple agencies and businesses for the drive today. You can drop off donations at Eastern Kentucky University Center for the Arts or Berea Fire Station number 1. Items can be dropped off from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. today. They're asking for cleaning supplies, water, personal hygiene products, and non-perishable foods. Thank you so much for getting your Thursday morning started with us here on Mountain News This Morning. When we come back, FEMA warns about a weakness in its alert system that could lead to fabricated fear. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
The heat will once again be a factor today, but one thing we don't need is on the way again. Rain chances. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.